Welcome to Chatting the Pictures. My name is Kara Finnegan, and I'm a writer, teacher, and historian of photography.
And I'm Michael Shaw. I'm a writer, a psychologist, and also publisher of Reading the Pictures.
Amid so many scenes of unspeakable horror, this photo from a Gaza school crystallizes the emotional price Palestinian children are paying for the war and the occupation.
Samar Abu Elouf took this photo for the New York Times via Redux. We see Palestinian children look toward the sky at the sound of airstrikes at a United Nations-run school in Gaza on Saturday, October 7th, 2023. More than a week after Hamas attacked southern Israel, killing some 1,400 people, Gaza officials say Israel's bombardment has killed at least 4,100 people and wounded more than 13,000 others, with most of the casualties being women and children. Israel says it dropped 6,000 bombs on the Gaza Strip since Hamas's attack on October 7, nearly matching the number the U.S. used in 1 year in the war in Afghanistan. After ordering a complete blockade of the 25-mile-long territory, one of the most densely populated areas in the world, and a territory rights groups call the world's largest open-air prison, Israel is now demanding almost half of 2.3 million residents evacuate Gaza. According to the UN, at least 20 of their schools in Gaza have been hit by airstrikes since October 7.
We talk about photographs in terms of their visual components, but often a really compelling news photograph taps into other senses as well. We know that the children are reacting to the sound of the airstrikes. We really see evidence of those frightening sounds on their faces. And really, it's almost like the photograph has its volume turned up in every way. We've got the kids' faces, the bright clothing that the children are wearing, the movement of the children around the image. It really is a kind of hypersensory photograph. And there's also, I would say, a kinesthetic component, that movement of the children. The little girl on the right and then the boy in gray on the left are literally almost in midair. The photograph, it's really working on both a literal level of fear and anxiety and terror, and also a metaphorical level.
It's a telling portrait about how children are trained to react to these aerial attacks and also how different children respond to extreme stress. I'm thinking about the parallel of the boy holding his sister and the boy in the red shirt raising his hand to the sky versus, for example, the kid in purple with his mouth gaping open. It's also powerful how at least 3 sets of children are holding each other. And then there's the relative absence of the adults and teachers and caretakers, making the image that much more about the children and their experience. I was also interested in the photograph in terms of the sense of time. It conveys the fear and trauma, not just as it's happening, but I would argue that the accomplishment of the photo is that the terror feels more timeless and perpetual than that. Also, the photo is so powerful because it is less graphic and more universal. It's actually rather tame in comparison to the extraordinary devastation in the streets and the scenes of terror chaos, such as a photo of this barefoot girl in red being navigated in a chair by 2 men through just pure rubble.
What I think is different about this image as opposed to other non-graphic images of children where we are invited by maybe a gaze directly at the viewer, a kind of posture that would suggest that the viewer should feel pity for them. This image to me is different in the sense that, as we discussed, it really is inviting us to experience that moment through the movements and reactions of the children.
You're hearing so many references on the last week or two to Gaza as a cage. And this is also a powerful image of the way that people are both trapped there and fenced in this schoolyard with the metal railings and also the different levels. And the fact that it's a UN school and it's as enclosed as it is drives home how no one in Gaza is protected anywhere. There really are no safe spaces.